a wet and beautiful Wednesday morning in Lagos, the economic capital of West Africa, and you're welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. I am Kendi Bodering.
And I am Henry Igwebike.
All right, we will kick off with today's newspaper review before diving into the main conversation of the day. Trust me, you don't want to miss a moment. You can join the conversation by dropping your comments, liking, and following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. Joining us to share the matters at hand is Innocent Aduluba. He's a journalist and also a public affairs analyst. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, Innocent Aduluba.
It's my pleasure to retain my shirt again.
It's been a while, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
We were running around to keep our in-laws happy.
It's necessary.
That's very so
Welcome
interesting.
once again.
So glad to have you join us as always. And of course, we kick start today, interestingly, with the newspapers. We have 3 newspapers right here on our desk, and let's start with the Vanguard newspaper for today. We have the big story: 14 banks fully meet new capital requirements. That's coming from the CBN.
Okay, we have Natasha Akpoti-Udoha storms Senate office, resumes duties.
And also on the top strip, we have a new Pengerson kicks against the federal government's planned sale of oil gas assets.
Okay, we also have PFN to governments, fix economy, end corruption, empower citizens.
And also we have insecurity. Nursing mom abducted, 3 soldiers jailed for selling arms. Wow, to terrorists.
Yeah. So we also have Tinubu seeks reform of global financial architecture.
And equally, we have the 2 images there, and that is the call to bar to Nyesom Wike's son. His first son was called to bar.
Yeah.
The family of lawyers. Nyesom Wike himself as a lawyer, the wife as a judge, and the son a lawyer. I love to believe the daughter is equally preparing to be a lawyer too. Well, we hope that they take advantage of that for the good and greatness of the country.
Yeah.
Innocent, let's get to Natasha. It's trendy, and I think we'll talk about it. Natasha Akpoti-Udoha storms Senate office, resumes duties after 6 months.
Well, in many quarters, I want to believe people will begin to acknowledge Natasha as a heroine of democracy. The woman remained unbowed since Thursday, 6th of March, when all of these infamous chapter began. It's down to sentiments, it's down to claims, it's down to allegations and counter allegations, and I think she dared to toy with the biggest devil, the Senate President. I think there were instances as well of the other Labour man from Edo State, I think Imaswe.
Yeah, Imaswe, yes, Imaswe.
So in between there have been lots of ridiculous anticlimax. Natasha Akpoti-Udoha is complaining and suing Senate President and Imaswe. The Office of the Attorney General of the Federation is coming in defense of the duo.
Yeah.
And constitutionally, that office is not to defend individuals. You know, and I've not heard either student lawyers or practicing lawyers or any SAN publicly floor that drawback. You know, so the saga also, if you look at it, there are many takeaways. Okay. There are aspects of democracy, aspects of constitutionalism not contemplated at birth that can be bettered by the aftermath of conflicts. So I think we should not blacklist any of them, but should look at the gains that can advance Nigeria's democracy to a higher pedestal.
Okay. Okay. Speaking of this, speaking of democracy, right? So let me ask you this question: can rival politicians, right, seek injunctions, against a resumption? Is it possible?
Everything is possible. The court is where you go to seek redress. So if a rival politician is not comfortable with her resumption, you go to court. It will be addressed there. You file and sue. I mean, this doesn't need a subpoena like a court summon. Once she's sued, she'll show up. And I think Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, had a distinguished senator, we must say, knows her rights. She knows her audience. She's a female lawyer. And the beauty of this resumption is that the constituency where she represents can now find somebody representing them again. There's been a 6-month vacuum, you know, and that is also a disenfranchisement, a deprivation of the right to representation at that level with the absence of Natasha all this while. She's also, to some extent, an Amazonic political Maradona, outwitting all of the government outfits to visit her people in that chopper the other time. Like I said, so episodic. Yeah. You open one chapter, it overlaps into another, but we should look at the gains for democracy. And it's about what is described as fundamental human rights. It has a single definition worldwide. It's in the Constitution of the United Nations. It's in national constitutions, regional bodies, as legally sanctioned claims of individuals. Legally sanctioned claims of individuals. So when Lady Natasha tells you a male, the Senate is assaulting her sexually, did we go by this definition? Did we attend to her legally sanctioned claim enshrined in the... Did we listen to her? Did we treat the merits and the demerits? Did we sieve these comments? Did we create a forum for fair hearing? The legal term for that is audi autorem partem. You hear ye the other part. I call it hear both parties. Was there a fair platform for hearing of the... Were there amicables? Because she may have returned. If the rough edges persist, it will be a precarious safety for her.
Innocent, we can't tell the story of Kogi without mentioning this wonderful woman. You know, she contested against Yahya Bello severally in 2015, 2019, and so on and so forth. I'm not holding brief for Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the team of other colleagues within the 10th Assembly, but a situation where an individual seems to want to overstep her grounds or flexing her muscle so much that is becoming nuisance or constituting nuisance value. What do you think any civil society should, how do you think they can handle such a case? Because that is what the Senate is seeing in the life of Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan.
Do I understand you to mean the Senate sees Natasha to some extent as a nuisance?
Exactly, because her behavioral traits, you know, according to what we see people say, especially those that were present when all of this happened, it's not really palatable. So how do you think in 2025 we can handle people who might really not conform to the rules of engagement?
Well, I think at some extent, at some stage, Natasha was flatly guilty at some stage. As in, you could see the clerk saying he had already informed her to move seat. I think because of someone defected.
Yes.
I'm trying to get the man.
Is the that should be Delta State.
Yes.
Yes.
When the Delta people shift camp with their governor, Sheriff Oborewori, the famous Honorable Ned Nwoko, Senator Ned Nwoko, famous for husbanding that beautiful young girl, Regina, you know, had moved. So if you look at with those letter proximities, Ned, Natasha, you know. So at that stage, within that explanation, we could fault Senator Natasha not responding to moving accordingly, being the custom in the Senate where these kind of things happen, being the custom You know, I think there was a time we saw some altercation involving the same Senator Godswill Akpabio. Then, in the 7th or 8th Senate with Senator Bukola Saraki, you know. So
and he apologized, actually. Senator Godswill Akpabio, then Senator, apologized to the office of the Senate President.
That's where I'm going. That
yes,
at that within this scenario, the non-apologetic posture of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan makes her culpable. You understand? But some of her complicity were beginning to enjoy erosion when other legs began to come into the matter. Sexual harassment, you know, like she was being, if I should, you know, power comes in 3 formats. If you are a political scientist, it is either coming as force, domination, or manipulation. And one of these was present in the form of domination. So by the time, and then there was a lot of feminine sympathy nationwide and beyond to the rescue of Natasha. And by then, the situation begins to come in various complexion. And when it becomes rainbow like this, people are on different spectrum. So if Senator Natasha on the spot, like Senator Akpabio then, after all the altercations, had apologized, that may have been laid to rest. She ended up being marched out of the chamber, and from then it has spiraled, leading to her eventual suspension. So, like I started, I said there are certain aspects not contemplated when rules are made. We should look at all of these and draw inferences, like you use the word, to balance out. The Senate, remember, goes with that word, hallowed. Yeah. It's a hallowed chamber. So it should be the last place for brigandage.
All right, awesome. From that story, let's move on to the Punch newspaper for today. Yes, the Punch newspaper, big story, 8.41 trillion naira oil theft drains economy, fuels investors' doubts. And we have 2 riders, but I'd love to take one for the want of time. Experts fault on lack of arrests. The prosecution in 4 years, zero oil theft.
Okay, we also have other stories here. We have Lagos cop woman killed as container crushes tricycle. We also have, we've done this, and we also have CBN lowers interest rates, OPS demands credit release. All
right, so let's just get to our talking point. 20 billion naira library fund raiser, not for 2027. Remy Tinubu, Innocent Adoluba, our famous artist, Burna Boy, would say in pidgin, you go explain, tire. No evidence. At this point, why is the First Lady over-explaining to Nigerians that the 20 billion naira, we're talking about $15 million, contributed to her for her birthday, she said is going to be used to rebuild the National Library in Abuja? She's beginning to over-explain that money is actually not meant for 2027. Who do we believe at this point?
Well, like I always say, politics is not righteousness. So she is free to say what she wants to say. Again, it's down to the question, freedom. But in a country that is ravaged by poverty, that amount already makes me dizzy. I've never held even, let me say it in the open, 20 million naira, like in one swoop. I don't know about you.
Very well.
So when I hear 20 billion, it's dizzying. I want to just sleep and dream, and I'm floating in clouds. So you see, corruption is the use of public office for private gain. The Honorable First Lady, I love her, if she is listening. I was a journalist with Galaxy Television, and I covered her maiden election at Bordello. Humble. She came, she queued like everybody, then went home, took her bath, came and queued to, after the actual vote. When the elections were over and results counted, she brought refreshment for whoever will. That she didn't want to do that earlier, it shouldn't be seen as a form of inducement. So that That endeared me to her person. She may not remember this. In fact, I walked up to her and asked her, would she like us to move her up the queue so she doesn't stand for long and vote quickly? She said no. She will vote when her turn comes. So I found that just in front of her house, there's a polling at Bordelon there. There's a side street there. 2011, precisely. So we cannot accuse her now of corruption, despite my definition. But it is because she was a public person, so to say, that all of these accruals were funneled to her.
So are you saying that if it was like a mere person?
If it's you, where will you get 20 billion doing birthday? No, tell me.
Don't worry, the Lord will do it.
It's not a Lord matter. Let's allow God have his rest on a rainy morning. Let's not bring him out to get wet.
Do you believe in manna? Do you believe in manna?
Yes,
no?
manna is mannerisms. Let's stop there. But within the topic, it's relational. She is the first lady. She is the sweetheart of our beloved President Bola Tinubu. You need to see that is a tweeted love message. I think Senator Remi Tinubu would have fallen in love over again. And I'm wondering, a maverick politician like President Bola Tinubu is also a professional toaster. You can see the fabrics of the content. So that relationship is where the explanation streams from. She is the wife of the president. The president is open about his intention for 2027. Let's use this word. Haters will begin to point fingers and say, this big money is bounty for 2027. Expectedly, whoever is running for president in 2027 needs a very big financial war chest. So if Mrs. First Lady wants to support her husband with that bounty, I mean, which aspects of the law is she violating?
Well, she christened, because the reason why we're raising this concern as people in the media is because the National Library is an asset of the federal government, which was started in 1992, I guess, right? And all the while, every successive government had made money available for that National Library. Unfortunately, you know how we play politics in the country. The money don't get to where it is supposed to get to. Now, don't you think it's okay for her to say, okay, I'm going to create or build my own asset for the good of the nation, but not taking advantage of a national asset as owned by the Federal Republic of Nigeria and raising money for herself to build that asset? And you know, at the end of the day, it will be named Remi Tinubu, library, which is an anomaly.
Let's take logic.
Okay.
Did she, before the donation, say this is a fundraiser for National Library?
Yes, that was what she said.
Ab initio.
Yes, that was the intention.
Well, this kind of monies cannot be audited.
Of course, they can't.
It's not a federal government, state government allocation. So if she does that, she has used her person and good office to raise fund for that.
Okay.
From where we see it, I would say it's commendable.
All right.
She could have used any other cause or reason. So if she is doing this, she's coming from extra-governmental route to buffer support for her, the administration of her husband. Because imagine where we are now and the government says we want to raise money for National Library when the smoke from the International Conference Center is yet to settle. So look, it's good to criticize, but this is neither here nor there, and it's difficult to authenticate. So if it's her freedom to say this is for the National Library, it's her freedom to explain, because from the background I've given you, everybody needs money for campaign in 2027. So one or two persons will want to believe that because she is in possession of this money, she mentioning the National Library is diversionary. That's what she wants the public to swallow. This is it. So I think we should take this that she took it upon herself, Mrs. First Lady, Senator Remi Tinubu, to clear the air. It's now down to the level of belief, whether we take her word hook, line, and sinker, or still doubt her.
All right.
Yes, that's what I think.
Okay, so I truly do hope that they would redeem that particular, whoever it is that had made pledge would redeem that. Sheikh Husani, former senator representing one of the constituencies
Kaduna
in
South.
Kaduna South,
Yes.
did say that when Musa Yar'Adua late, the wife, equally did the same thing. She wanted to start off a project on cancer in Abuja. That lots of people pledged, but they were all audio money. Until today, that project is yet to take off. So I truly do hope that all those that have pledged, Tompolo and Tantita and so many other people who pledged, please redeem your pledge so that our First Lady can start off.
If you allow me,
Yes,
the names you just mentioned are people who harvest from the government.
Oh, okay. So it's,
these are avenues to plow back. Let's use that word, to plow back. Sometimes I wonder from where I sit, with the prolific disbursement of security efficiency by the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian military across the world, why a government with Nigeria and all of this population will still go and hire a Tantita? And for how much, bros? So it is that means whatever the government is doing, it is cultural for Tantita to turn up. These are the kind of avenue for them to tithe back, since the government is not a
definitely.
church.
Yeah, throughout last week, from Monday to about Friday, he took all over. He took the front page of the newspapers all through.
You remember too,
congratulatory
sometime too, when toward the Democracy Day we couldn't get content for analysis. Tantita
took all.
He who pays the piper.
Beautiful. All right. Finally, let's get to. Do you have okay? Let's go to.
Yeah, I wanted to come to a question,
all right, please
but
do.
I think he has maybe
He has to do justice.
Yes, to justice to.
All right. So let's get to the Guardian news. Yeah, the Guardian newspaper before we call it.
So on the Guardian we have. Okay, should we take the big story?
Yeah, big story.
Okay, wider cracks in world order amid warnings on aid cuts, unions' future.
That is the UN at 80,
Yes.
United Nations at
Nigeria.
80. All right, and still on that particular story, or a story on the top strip there, we have Tinubu, handling of INEC's transition will define Nigeria's democracy, says Yaga, and that is a CSO.
Okay.
Yes, civil society organization, yes.
Okay, we have FIRS clarifies borrowing plan, confirms new tax regime from January.
And also we have Benue IDP's vow to occupy FCT until normalcy returns. Yes.
Okay, should we still take more?
Yeah, just take one more, then you can go on with the questions.
We also have concerns in Lagos APC as 4 elected female officials die in 2 months. In fact,
well, that's a coincidence, actually.
Yeah, human angle story.
Yes. All right.
And we also have high blood pressure puts 1.4 billion people at risk. WHO warns.
All right.
Organization.
So much interesting stories here, but Innocent, let's get to Tinubu's handling of INEC's transition. Will define Nigeria's democracy, says Yaga. Mahmoud Yakubu is about to leave the office. By next month he should go, and someone else will take over. According to section 1911 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, it is the dictate of the president to nominate who would succeed that particular position. It's still a very big problem to our electoral process. How that a man who is part of the vying process, contesting, would employ a referee to come officiate a game he is part of. Speak to us.
Well, if President Tinubu goes ahead to nominate, he has done no wrong.
He has done no wrong.
He has not.
Is it fair?
That's where I can answer you plainly.
Okay.
Certain things are legal, but are not moral.
Explain more.
I will.
Yeah.
The Constitution of Nigeria, or this one, is it from the Electoral Act?
No, it's from the Constitution.
The Constitution is protectionist of politicians more than the masses. In plain language, the law keeps the political class safe and the masses abandoned. That's the kind of constitution we run in Nigeria. So, but if you go against that constitution, you are a dissident. You are defying the laws of your land. You are wrong legally, and you can be sanctioned, arrested, or prosecuted. But you are right morally. Morals have no police, no guns. So, if you ask me, President Tinubu carrying this out, I don't think he was part of those who wrote this constitution.
No, of course not.
So he is a beneficiary of the distortions of the constitution.
But don't you think morality should be at play here?
By who? By who?
By himself, knowing that he is part of the game. He should not be employing a referee to officiate the game he is part of.
So in this case, who should?
It should be the dictates of the people.
Which people?
Nigerians should select, should nominate, should carry out whatever electoral process that should bring in the election.
Let me interrupt you.
Yes.
Nigerians can do it at the level of the electoral college. An electoral college is a gathering of elected representatives like the National Assembly. Okay. Therefore, if Lagos, we have Honorable or Senator Idiat Adebule from Lagos here. The people she represents are hoping she will speak on this on the floor. Her principal is President Bola Tinubu. Where will she be? How will she speak? Will she speak against that? So, I just said that the law of Nigeria is protectionist of the political class. The people have surrendered their sovereignty to their representatives to speak for them. They are killing in Benue. They are killing in Plateau. You would think the senators, even within the states, the House of Assembly, where people have elected their state people, will be speaking against this killing. You won't hear anybody. You won't hear. Oh, there's a beautiful port in Calabar. I played in that port between, say, 1990, 1993, 4, when it was being built. As a boy, bathing in the rain, barefooted. If you Google it, it's there. Oh, Cross River governors, Donald Duke, Leah Limoke, the Professor Grandma Ben Ayade, and the current governor. Have you heard any of them vehemently saying, open this port so at least our people here can be gainfully employed? Majority of those who import goods into the country are Southeasterners, apprentice, spare parts. Somebody from Aba to Calabar is 2 hours. He comes to Lagos, imports his car. God help him, there is fuel scarcity. He will use that car and look for fuel, then drive it back to Aba, just 2 hours to a port.
15 hours now from Lagos to...
Have you heard the senators from Aba, Imo, Ebonyi, Anambra, Enugu, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, or the governors saying, there is a port in our backyard here. Open it. Have you heard a concert of voices aligned towards shouting that this port here should be open to favor, hear the word, our people, the people, the masses? Have you heard? So that's why we in Nigeria we are existing under the paradox of representation.
So are you saying that there's a lot of information here?
No, the information is clear. I'm going to talk about one of the headlines you mentioned when you said United Nations at 80. It's there too. Yeah. It's not a Nigerian thing. Yes. The law protects those it chooses to protect. And let me expand it further. If you go online, with due respect to content, you will see infants with their heads sliced, women killed by Boko Haram, killer, Fulani headsmen and all. villages burnt. I mean, it's all of that.
Yeah.
Then you hear that the government who arrested people today release them tomorrow, that they repented. In some cases, absorbed into the police and the army. Such demented people wearing the army clothes. If I fight one of them, what I have done is illegal, but moral. That's the basis of the explanation. They are legal representatives of the Nigerian military. I am, in quote, a bloody civilian fighting the military. That's the explanation. I'm telling you that there is one thing that something is legal. It's another thing that it is moral. And so, you will hear people who are sympathetic to the aspirations of President Bola Tinubu will tell you he's not the one that made the law. And that's final. So, what you expect him to do, you are expecting somebody eyeing a smooth sailing to second tenure to botch his own plan, Henry. That's a difficult possibility.
But the truth remains, how far would we continue in like this? Because what we would keep having is round pegs for square holes, and it's not going to work for us.
A quick one, Harry.
Yes.
The people who can fix this are not interested in fixing it.
And who are they?
The Senate. That's where it can be fixed.
And why do you think so?
Well, the loyalty is railroaded in one direction. Any member of the present majority party, the APC, asking for a reform, the type Henry is looking for, is a dissident of that party. Oh, that, I mean, or how else does it look like? So you are thinking moral. It's a sentiment. The law is blind. You need to see that symbol of the law. I used to forget her name. She has a name.
Yes, she does.
So what we are discussing now is the bondage you and I as Nigerians suffer.
And little wonder Nigeria is still very low when it comes to economy, when it comes to infrastructural development, when it comes to politics even, because the way we practice our politics is actually very different. I watched a TikTok videos last night of a Ghanaian parliamentarian who was mocking our democracy in Nigeria and the way we practice it, especially our political parties. He said that only in Nigeria you would see a PDP and APC. Nigerians would vote in favor of the PDP because they feel the APC is not good enough. And when APC assumes office, right? Sorry, when PDP assumes office, those in the APC would now transition and move to the PDP and say they are sorry, right? And mess up the nation for 4 to 8 years. And Nigerians will now say we are no longer happy with the PDP. Let's vote for the APC. Then those in the PDP will now move to the APC.
So there's a transition.
So all we keep doing is voting the same people.
I'm sorry, on that, again, we can be helped by the National Assembly. Because we, the people outside, don't like that type of... If you ask me, I've said it severally here, there should be a law that elected politicians who defect to another party loses their position.
Immediately.
Elected. If you are not elected, you want to move. Fly away, Peter. You know. Who are those to make the laws? It is those who are specialists in defecting. They are our senators. They are our governors. So that is where our law is in the hands of those who don't connect with those who we claim are representing us. And I said it is a paradox of representation.
Very sad.
I'm sorry, on the United Nations, let me be quick.
At 80, please, yeah.
In 1945, 51 nations gathered to birth United Nations on the brink of 2 world wars. Each one ended by Russia, either as US, then as Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. In fact, it was a Russian armistice that ended the war and Hitler surrendered. So Russia has been instrumental, however we perceive them. Last night, against 51, 103 nations converged. Now, again, I said certain things don't seem contemplated from the beginning. At the time, the United Nations were united. And administer global peace through the United Nations Security Council, and the crux of every policy ends with the big five as regards veto. The United States of America, the United Kingdom or Great Britain, France,
Germany,
Russia, and China.
Oh,
At the time, the Chinese veto was domiciled with Taiwan, known as Formosa, because China was very, very, the world at the time were not maybe too embracing of the Chinese social communism.
yes.
Communism, I was going to say socialism. So, in that period, when there is any wahala, imbroglio, war, we've had in Burma or Myanmar, we've had in Angola, we've had in Liberia here and there, we've had wherever.
Yeah.
The United Nations Security Council will quench it. Today, the United Nations is discussing expanding the Security Council. I want to ask, is there any need? Where is the attraction? There is a war going on in a genocide going on in Gaza. America is one of the veto in the United Nations Security Council. America has been established by several countries as being complicit in this war, to the extent of their patronage of Israel, weapon-wise. Has the Security Council done anything? Women, children die by the day.
And they sit back and watch.
And I know that we must absolve Israel. Israel was first of all attacked and invaded by Hamas. That must be established. But at least the security can check Hamas effectively, and then tell Israel, okay, what you have done is enough to some extent. Have you heard that? Last night, President Trump declared that his administration has ended over 7 wars. That should be the comment of the Secretary General of the United Nations, not the president of a single country. Yes.
Because they are United Nations.
Exactly. President Trump also said Europe should back Ukraine to win Russia. So Europe
while
now
being
takes
an ally, while being a one-on-one ally with Vladimir Putin.
So Europe takes instructions, as it were, from President Donald Trump of the United States of America, instead of as a regional or continental member of the United Nations
General Assembly.
Yes.
So what actually happens is, my next question to you is this: what do you think would happen to the United Nations going forward? So do we hope to see a dissolved United Nations?
No, that's not possible.
United Nations of Nigeria, they've taken their light.
So you don't see what's your